Hi folks, and welcome to Chris Reviews. For today's review we are looking at only my second ever watch from San Martin. This is the SN059. For anyone watching that hasn't yet subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am still a relatively new channel, and the support that you show by subscribing is very much appreciated. And of course, to everyone who has already subscribed, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. With all that said, and without any further ado, let's get into the review. So let's take a look at the dimensions for this one then. So we have a 40mm wide case, 12.5mm thickness on this one, 21mm lugs with a nice compact lug to lug distance of 47mm. Now with a couple of links removed to fit my 7.5 inch wrist, this one weighs in at 130 grams. Price wise for this one, I paid $335 US, which equates to around £246. Now, I bought this one in the PT 5000 movement, and it is gaining plus 5 seconds per 24 hours. Pretty good performance there from the PT 5000. Now, I bought this from watchdives.com's own website. I have mentioned Watchdives before. I think they're an excellent website. It's easy to navigate, it's excellent choice from a variety of different brands, and there's great communication when you place an order. I am a big fan of Watchdives. Do check them out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Now, this SN059 is also available in some other colourways. I bought the black. They're all mother of pearl dials. There's also a blue and also a white dial version as well. They all look very nice, and it is available with either the PT 5000 or the Swiss SW200 movements. Now, there is a bit of a price difference. You'll pay an extra $150 or £110 for that Swiss SW200 movement. So having a look at the packaging then, it comes with the usual San Martin armoured box. They also included a nice strap changing tool with a screwdriver, and you also get an additional NATO, well I did at least, albeit the wrong colours for this particular watch. Now, nice to see a signed and dated warranty card, San Martin offering 2 years international warranty, but I have to say Watchdives are offering 3 years international warranty, so that is great to see. So let's talk about the case and the crown. We have a solid 316L stainless steel case, crown, bezel and bracelet. Now the case is fully polished throughout, and it's done so to a very, very high standard indeed. It still retains those lovely crisp lines while still feeling very smooth to the touch. There's no sharp edges on the case at all. That fixed bezel is executed pretty much to perfection. It's machined to some very tight tolerances, and it's very well finished. It looks incredible and manages to catch the light in pretty much any lighting conditions that you can put the watch in. It really does look very, very nice indeed. Now, this watch has 100 meters water resistance rating, and to aid that it has a screw down crown and a screw down case back. Now, I think the crown on this watch is a bit of a triumph. It is smaller and it is thinner, and it means that when you screw it in and out, it's not as instantly easily accessible as one of the larger crown watches that you see, but I think it's a triumph, and that's why I really like it. It wears brilliantly well, it blends into the case, it doesn't dig into your wrist. I love the proportions of the crown when it's screwed in to the case itself. I think they've got it absolutely spot on, San Martin, with this one. Now, around the back of the watch, we have a brushed finish with just that high polished circle on the back there. Again, all done to a very nice standard, no sharp edges. It wears very, very comfortably indeed. I'll show you a wrist shot on my 7.5 inch wrist for your reference. As you can see, it just wears beautifully. This one has the weight ratio absolutely perfect in my opinion. It just hugs the wrist. That case back doesn't protrude too far. It just sits very nicely. That shorter 47mm lug to lug aiding that as well. It just wears like an absolute dream, this one. Now, as I mentioned when I was going through the dimensions at the beginning of the video, lug width on this one is 21mm, rather odd size, but don't let it put you off, because you're not going to be wanting to take this San Martin President style bracelet off. It is sublimely comfortable. There's no sharp edges. There's also 4 holes of micro adjust and that high quality San Martin clasp, which again is finished to a very high standard indeed. It really is done very, very nicely. If you have a close look at the bracelet, you can see those centre links are high polished, with the outer edges of the bracelet links a very fine brush. Satin brush almost. It really is a truly first class bracelet. So covering that dial, which I'll come to in a little second, is a very nice piece of flat sapphire crystal. Now it does an excellent job thanks to having some AR coating on the underside. I would suggest that there is a pretty good amount of AR coating, and it really does benefit fantastically from that. We also have the Cyclops present, which again is AR coated, and it looks fantastic. It does a great job. 2.5 times magnification on the date wheel there. Yeah, very nice. I like the crystal on this a lot. And of course, let's talk about that mother of pearl dial. Now, it is really, really beautiful in person. It's a really lovely substance, actually. It's the first, believe it or not, mother of pearl dialed watch that I have ever owned. And it being a natural substance, every one is slightly different, of course, and it really does shine beautifully. Its appearance, its colour, depending on the light that you have the watch in, it changes quite dramatically. It's just beautiful. Now, looking at the dial, we have that San Martin logo, which I have to say I'm a massive fan of at 12 o'clock. We have the text at 6 and those rectangular hour markers all the way around with the double marker at the 12 there. Everything looks like it oozes quality on this dial, and it really, really does. You can see that the raised markers there are just executed really, really nicely indeed. They catch the light very well, and the handset is also equally well finished and well executed. Nice to note that they have capped the centre seconds hand there so that you cannot see the pinion hole. It just oozes quality, it really does, and on close inspection I think it actually looks even better. And of course this one is loomed, and let's talk about that lume. San Martin state that it's BGW9 Swiss Super Luminova, and I have no doubt about that whatsoever. It really does speak for itself. It glows very nicely, nice and even, no patchiness anywhere to speak of at all, and it just glows brilliantly. Very good lume on what is essentially a dressier watch. Let's have a little discussion about this movement then. So as mentioned, it's available with the 2 different movements, and they do have a bit of a price difference to say the least. So I went with the PT5000. That is essentially an Asian clone interpretation, however you want to put it, of the Swiss ETA 2824. The only difference being that the SW200 is a Swiss made clone interpretation of the Swiss ETA 2824. You're paying 150, 110 extra pounds for being made in Switzerland, and that is entirely up to you. That's a totally subjective choice. The PT5000 and the SW200 are both higher beat movements. They beat at 28,800 beats per hour, and it's notably smoother in the seconds hand sweep there than, say, that of an NH35, which beats at the lower 21,600 beats per hour. So either way, you're getting a higher beat movement. It's just up to you whether you would rather have Chinese made or Swiss made. I know what decision that I instantly went for. So let's talk verdict then. Like I said, this is my second ever San Martin, and I have to say it has not disappointed in the slightest. In fact, I think, to be honest, it's only strengthened them in my mind as a brand that's offering pretty spectacular value for money. Now granted, this one costs around £246, that $335 price mark when you go for the PT5000 movement, and it isn't exactly cheap when you consider pricing from some highly established brands like Seiko and what you actually get for your money with those brands. Then I think this really does turn into the proverbial no-brainer. You're paying a fraction of the cost of one of these bigger brand watches, and I have to say it's one of those things where I really can't convey it to you on camera, unfortunately. You need to have this in your hand, you need to feel it, you need to experience it on the wrist. It really is a little slice of quality. And for your £246 or your $335, you really are getting a level of fit and finish that is genuinely usually reserved for watches, mostly with bigger names, costing many times more indeed. I think this SN059 is punching way above its horological weight, and I think it's winning. The level of quality, of fit and finish, the level of execution San Martin have displayed with this are simply outstanding. But what do you guys think? Have you bought this one? Are you thinking about buying this one? Let me know in the comments what you think of this SN059 or of San Martin as a brand. I would be interested to find out your thoughts. So there we have it, folks. Thanks for making it to the end of the review. If you liked it, please do remember and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next review.